I would like to welcome in former Israeli Ambassador Michael Oren. Ambassador, thank you so much for giving us some of your time today. And my apologies if we do have to interrupt again, if we have to go to Minnesota. But seeing the damage from these overnight attacks, what is the reaction on the ground in Israel?
Cautious. We're braced for further attacks tonight. The Army has indicated that there will be missiles fired tonight. But this is a war of attrition. The Israeli Air Force has cleared a corridor from the western boundary of Iran along Iraq to Tehran. There's no more anti-aircraft systems along that route, so Israeli aircraft can operate with impunity in the skies of Iran and continue to destroy Iranian nuclear facilities and missile silos and missile launchers. Meanwhile, Iran will keep firing at us, and it's basically going to see which country is going to cry uncle first. Irrespective, I think that the leaders of the UAE were right. At the end of the day, this is going to end up around a negotiating table. And the question is, do the Iranians come back to the negotiating table in a weaker position or in a stronger position? And I think that Israel's goal is that the Iranians will come back to that table, sit down with President Trump, and agree to dismantle their nuclear program.
Ambassador, so now we have confirmation of fatalities in Israel. There was no doubt that Iran was going to wage some type of retaliation. So why did Prime Minister Netanyahu have to act swiftly with Iran, and why now?
Well, let me first say that the estimates for the damage for the The estimates for the damage of last night's attack were actually much higher, anticipated to be much higher. We expected to get 600 rockets fired at us, with as many as 800 Israelis killed. They fired less than 103, tragically, but it's far less than what was estimated by the Israel Defense Forces. Israel had to act immediately because Iran was on the verge of developing a nuclear weapon. Had enriched uranium to 60%, which is just short of weapons grade, and enough uranium to make 9 nuclear weapons. It already has a delivery system, ballistic missiles, and it has warheads. And so for Israel, it's an existential issue. It was a matter of life and death for Israel, but not just for Israel. Those rockets in Iran's arsenal can reach Central Europe. In a few years, they'll be able to reach the east coast of the United States. The United States has 4 adversaries in the world, Nicole. It has Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran. 3 of them have nuclear weapons already. I don't think you want to have a 4th.
Yeah, no, you certainly raise a good point there. We know that Iranian news reports are saying Iran is planning strikes against U.S. military bases. We knew as of yesterday that the U.S. has made military adjustments in anticipation. Do you think the U.S. should expect some sort of retaliation?
It certainly has to prepare for it. And it begs the question, what is the Iranian goal? Okay, because the Iranians know that by striking U.S. bases or U.S. warships in the Persian Gulf, the United States will react with capabilities that are far in excess of what Israel has. We don't have strategic bombers, by the way. We don't have B-52s or B-1s or B-2s. The American military could do far more damage than our F-15s and F-35s. But perhaps somebody in Tehran is thinking that if the United States gets dragged into this war, then the anti-war faction in the Republican Party, the isolationist faction in the Republican Party, will put increased pressure on President Trump to put increased pressure on Israel to stop the fighting. Are you following all that? That we live in a complex universe, but there could be people in Tehran that are thinking that. Let's attack the Americans, and let's put pressure on President Trump to put pressure on the Israelis.
Well, so speaking of that, Ambassador, I mean, what kind of role do you anticipate, or do you see the U.S. potentially playing in all of this?
Well, it is already playing a role. The American forces are taking down some of these rockets that are being shot at us, and I imagine they'll do that again tonight. With no anti-missile shield is foolproof. We have the most advanced multi-layered anti-missile shield in the world. We have Iron Dome, which is the lower level, David Sling, the mid-level, Arrow 2 is suborbital, or Arrow 3 is orbital. Some of these rockets go up in outer space and come back down. But the United States also has 3 systems. It has the THAAD system, the Aegis system, and the Patriot system. So we have these 6 systems guarding our skies. And still, if you're firing 100 rockets, 1 or 2 or 5 will get through. And these are very big rockets. They carry 200 pounds of TNT. That's enough not just to take down my building, to take down my neighborhood. So nothing's foolproof. And that's what the Iranians are banking on, that they can keep firing, say, 100 rockets a night for a month so that Israel, rather than Iran, will cry uncle.
Well, former Israeli Ambassador Michael Oren, Ambassador, thank you so much for giving us some of your time today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.